Hey, you guys. So, I have a message for my spiritualists and also for my people who don't consider themselves to be spiritualists. So, what Spirit has asked me to share with you is that the message will never be clearer than it already is. The message will never be clearer than it already is. That's it. Now, when I say that this message is for my spiritualists, I want you to understand many of you may be in this energy of let me chase down and go down this rabbit hole connecting with all of this endless 4D and 5D understanding. It's a rabbit hole. It's never ending. You're chasing it down. For what reason? You gained what you needed to gain from it. You know that you are not just this physical body. You're also a soul. You're also all these other things. So stop chasing the rabbit. That's enough. That is enough. You are becoming distracted. This is becoming an escapism. You still have to live in the 3D world. There are many things that are meant to come to fruition based on the knowledge that you've gained. And it will not come if you continue to chase the rabbit. It's time to let that go because it's time to integrate these understandings into the 3D world. And it's not just about you moving in esoteric ways. It's about you moving and learning to navigate the 3D spiritual understanding because the 3D is spiritual. It's time for you to learn to navigate that. It's time for you to master that. You've mastered the understanding as much as you can. The message is what it is, and it's not going to become any clearer. So it's time for you to master the 3D spiritual understanding. That hard part, the one that you don't like, the one that may make you call your physical body a meat suit. As if your God, as if your creator would ever give you anything that's not beautiful and that's not necessary. Your physical world needs you. Your physical world needs you to show up and master it. Master it for the rest of us, for all of us, for you. You need to learn to master your 3D understanding. It's time. Stop chasing this rabbit with this 4D and 5D understanding. There are other things that are meant to come. There are other things that are meant to be integrated, and it can't do that if you don't stop chasing this rabbit. You want more. You want so many grand things. And many of you, if you know and you understand, you see these things in this 4D and 5D understanding. I'm not going to say it here and now, but if you have been in, and as you have been in this 4D and 5D understanding, there are many things that exist there that want to show you it can be integrated more than you could ever believe if you would just do what you need to do, which is stop escaping, and go and do the rest of your work. You're not done. You're not done. Now begins the other part. Now begins the 3D mastery. Now begins that understanding for you. Now, for my other individuals who do not consider themselves to be spiritualists, the message for you, it's not about you stepping into any of the things I was just speaking about. The message for you is about you beginning to accept that the environment that you're in and your 3D environment is not what you want, and you keep getting it over and over. Why am I unhappy? Why can't I force myself to love this person? Why can't I force myself to want to remain in this job? Or why can't I force myself? You've made your life, you've mastered the 3D understanding. You've mastered this environment. So, in that understanding of mastery, it's time for you to unmake this environment that is not right for the rest of you to come in. The emotionally fulfilling understanding that you want to come in because you left out certain things. And I'm not asking you to understand the 4D and 5D. I'm not asking you to understand what the spiritualists know. I'm not asking for you to understand that. I'm asking for you to finally take a look at your emotional stuff and stop closing it out. I'm asking for you to finally let the message be what it is. Let the message be what it is, that you're not happy in these environments. Let the message be that it's time for you to leave. Let the message be that it's time for you to make room for what you deserve. Let the message be that it's time for you to create space for your emotional self, for your soul self to come in. Let that be the message for you. It don't have to be any clearer than that. It's as clear as it's going to be. You are unhappy. You are depressed. You are angry. You are frustrated. Everything seems to be going wrong because your soul is tired of being ignored and it wants you to acknowledge it. And you don't have to understand all that other stuff to understand that. You know you don't want to be in these environments, but you're scared and you hate the fact that you feel like it's going to be hard. You feel like it's going to be brick by brick. But guess what? You're only harming yourself mentally. You're only harming yourself physically. These things, your soul not getting the attention it deserves, it breeds illness. It breeds insanity. It breeds things that tragic understandings that you do not want to come to pass. So please spare yourself any more than what you've already gone through, than what you're already experiencing, and pick up that first brick. Pick up that first brick. You know how to create new understandings in the 3D world for yourself. You just hate that you don't build all these blocks up and you got to bring these blocks down. But guess what? You built it without your soul. You built it without your truth. You built it based off what other people told you it was the right way to build it. And you're not even happy with the way it's built. But you're like, well, at least it's something. That's what you want from your life? At least it's something? That's what you deserve? At least it's something? That's how much you love yourself. God loves you more than that. You deserve better. And the children in this world, from both sides, from a spiritualist standpoint and from a non-spiritualist standpoint, whatever you fall in within that spectrum, the children in this world deserve better. Deserve better from us. It's time to integrate. It's time to integrate. One with the emotional understandings, and one you need to get down and do the work of mastering your 3D. You need to understand that that is spiritual and it needs you to master it. It's not a game, it's for real. There are things that you know that you see and understand from a 45D perspective that you think can't come to pass in some way and through integration. But it can, and it wants to. But you got to get down and begin to do that work in the 3D. You have to. You have to. It's time. You want a better world. You want so much change. You got to be the change. You got to mirror it. All that work that you've done, it's time to ground it into your 3D. All that understanding that you gained within the 4D and 5D, it's time to ground it into the 3D. It's time for integration. It's time for integration on both sides. So please hear me when I say the better world is already here. All you got to do is do what you've been refusing to do, what you've been afraid to do, to bring it in, to reflect it into being. Because you deserve it. We all deserve it. So let's get there. But that's all I have. I hope this message resonates. And if it doesn't, I hope you found what does.